Hello, this will be the tutorial for the second half of lesson number 9, which is called Fancy Shapes Using Nested Loops. We have already completed puzzles 1 through 7. Let's go ahead and click on 8 and begin. So you can see that the very basic shape in this picture here is a square. So let's begin by creating the function that will draw a square. The number that goes in here is the number of sides that a square has, which is 4. Inside, we will have a move block and a turn block. In this case, we're going to do a turn left by 90. Go ahead and run it to make sure that it does in fact draw a square. It does. Now, the next thing to do is to figure out where does he have to go to before he begins drawing the next one. Now, the instructions do say the squares each have 100 pixel sides and 90-degree turns. We've already done that. But the next bullet says you will need to turn 60 degrees between each square. Why? Because there are 6 squares and 360 degrees, blah, 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 blah. Make sure that you jump 50 pixels to get to the next square. So they're literally telling us that after he draws one, he needs to jump. So make sure you grab the jump block. But it says to jump by 50 pixels. So change that number to a 50. Let's see if that works so far. He's going to draw the square and then jump to the next spot. But if we start drawing the next square right here, he's going to draw it in a row. We want him to draw it at an angle. And that's where this comment comes into effect. You will need to turn 60 degrees between each square. So not only do we have to jump forward by 50 pixels, we also have to turn by 60 degrees. So we should see him draw the square, jump, and turn. And we see that. And now it looks like he's ready to draw the next square. So essentially, we are going to ask him to repeat every single one of these steps for each square in the shape. So if, for example, I asked him to do these things twice, let's make sure that it works by putting the entire program into a loop with a number 2. He should draw 2 squares. And he does. But there are a total of 6 in the painting there. So let's go ahead and change that to a 6. Very good. And the computer is going to give us credit for this. But for those of you that want to include the color portion of this, here is the set color random color block. And I'm going to put it in here between the loops, between the 6 and the 4. That means that every square will have a different color. Good. Click continue when you're ready. Again, beginning with the very, very basic shape in this puzzle, we do have hexagons, and it says each hexagon has 50 pixel sides and 60-degree turns. So begin with a loop, and the first question that you should ask yourself is how many sides does a hexagon have? It turns out that a hexagon has 6, so please include a number 6 in there. You are told that each hexagon has 50 pixel sides, so grab a move forward block, but change it to 50 pixels. And it says 60-degree turns, and we do have a turn left by 60 right here. So this should be enough to draw one hexagon. And it does. Now, of course, he does have to move to the next spot. In this case, we know that each of the sides is 50 pixels, so let's ask him to jump 50 pixels. All we're trying to do is get him to draw a hexagon and then jump to the next position. And he does. However, if we just ask him to draw another one, he's going to draw them in a row going this way. In other words, not only does he have to jump, he also has to turn. We're going to make him turn to the right by 45. And let's run it and make sure that we like his head turn there at the end. And we do. Now he's ready to draw the next hexagon. So let's go ahead and take this entire program and ask him to do it a couple of times. Put a 2 in there, and then put the entire program inside, and hopefully he draws 2 hexagons. And he does. So now The next thing, of course, is to figure out how many total hexagons there are. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So instead of two, we'll do eight. Also, we're going to go ahead and add the set color, random color, and we'll put it in between the loops, between the eight and between the six. This way, each hexagon will be a different color. Very good. Click continue, and here will be puzzle number 10. Click I'm ready. This one is interesting because there are actually two shapes, but and we're going to do exactly what we've did for every other puzzle here. We're actually going to begin by writing the program for each of the shapes. So here we have a square and a triangle. It doesn't matter which one you choose to do first. I'm going to go ahead and do the triangle first. So help me out. How many sides does a triangle have? Well, it has three. Inside, we will have a move block, but it says here that both shapes have 50 pixel sides, so change this to a 50. And the triangle is going to have a turn left, but it's a triangle, so we have to change this to 120. This should be just the triangle, and it is. Now, let's add the program that will draw a square. How many sides does a square have? It has four. Inside, we have a move block, but change this to 50, and we have a turn left by 90, and we're going to leave the number 90 because that is a right angle, and that is exactly what squares need. Let's try it. Very good. Now, of course, before he does any other shape, he does have to jump from here to here, and he does have to turn sideways so that he can do this. So we're going to need to jump forward by not 100, but by 50, because we were told that all the sides are 50 pixel sides. And we will have him turn to the right by 45 degrees. Let's see if we like this. And we do. It looks to me like he's ready to draw the next one. So we're going to take this entire program and ask him to do that program several different times. Let's try three just to make sure that we like what it looks like. There's the first one, second one, and the third one. Very good. Now, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. That means that there should be eight of them instead of just three. And let's go ahead and add the set color, random color block in here in between the eight and the three. And this way, each of the shapes will have its own color. And yes, of course, there is a way to make it so that the triangle has a different color from the square. In fact, if you add this in between the one of them for the triangle and the other one for the square, that means that each of the individual shapes will have its own color. And you're more than welcome to do that because adding those blocks does not uh, um, increase the number of pieces that you are using. Click continue when you're ready. Here is puzzle number 11. Begin again, of course, by writing the program for the first basic shape, which is a square. You know that a square has four sides. You know that you need a move block and a turn, in this case, turn left. And it does say move forward by 100 pixels. I'm guessing that's really, really far. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and leave it right now just to see what it is. But turning left, because it is a square, I automatically know that it should be 90. Let's run that. And it definitely is too big. Instead of moving forward by 100, let's make him move forward by 50 pixels. There it is. Now, before he can do the next one, he should jump from this spot to this spot. So let's make him jump not by 100, but by 50. Very good. That's it. He is ready to draw all of the squares in a row. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grab a repeat loop. We're going to ask him to do all of this 7 times. And we're going to add the set color, random color block and the program inside the loop. And this should be enough. Very good. Click continue. Here's puzzle number 12. It is a multiple choice problem. It says, take a good look at the code below, this code down here. Which drawing will this program make when you click run? Your choices are A, B, C, or none of these, as in this one, or this one, or this one, or D, none of the above. Please do not choose D. I want you to choose either A or B or C. One of these will be produced when he performs this program. Your job is to guess. So choose A, B, C, and as soon as you choose this, one of these this block right here will turn orange. You will run the program, and then the computer will tell you if you chose correctly or not. If you choose correctly, congratulations. If you choose incorrectly, please don't worry, just continue and move on to Puzzle 13. Puzzle 13 is a free play, which means that they don't have a specific goal for you. They just want you to do something, to play around with it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attempt to do something similar to this, but you don't have to. Please don't feel obligated. I'm going to go ahead and begin by drawing a picture of a square and move forward by, I'm going to choose something relatively small. I'm going to say 25 pixels. Turn left by 90. That should be a very, very small square. Good. And then I'm going to have him jump forward by, you know what? I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, 50 pixels, and then make him jump forward by 25 pixels. Please do not feel obligated to do what I'm doing. This is just an example for myself. And I'm going to make him turn to the right by that. Let's do 20. And then I'm going to ask him to repeat all of these things about 15 times. And I'm going to add random color to each of those shapes. Here we go. Almost. I'm going to try 18 and see if that makes a complete circle. Oh, it did. Perfect. You do have down here at the bottom, you do have a set pattern block, which does give you the option of different types of lines. For example, a rainbow line. And if I put that in here, inside the loop of the square program, it gives me this. You are more than welcome to try that. You can change it to a different type of line. No, that's a little boring. Let's try this guy. And you can play around with this as much as you want or as little as you want. And when you're done and you don't want to do this anymore, go ahead and click finish, click continue, and this will bring you to the page with the certificate. You do not have to do anything. This just means you're done. You're welcome to close this and be done with code.